Folks, thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all doing okay today. So, wanted to kind of give my opinion on something. Now, before I get into it, this is not a sound off on the scientific validity of any of this, but I gotta admit that when it comes to public opinion, I'm surprised that Fauci is not being called to task for his treatment of animals. This was about a month and a half ago now, I guess. There was a study tying Fauci and some research that he signed off on involving beagles that had been muted, meaning their vocal cords have been damaged and they couldn't bark or anything, that involved having their heads put in mesh boxes full of sand fleas and finding out what happened. I don't remember exactly how the experiment was supposed to work. I don't know anything about that. And then there was also an experiment, some sort of monkey that he was doing an experiment on, and it was maximum pain experiments, so the animals were not allowed, and also same for the beagles, they were not allowed any form of painkillers or sedation during any of this. And the beagles, they were literally having their heads eaten while they were alive, and they were muted so they wouldn't bother the researchers. And the whole reason why that surprises me is there was a docu-series that I watched, I guess it would have been somewhere around 2 years ago now, on Netflix, maybe 3. I swear when people kill deer, it's amazing that they don't kill them more often with cars. So anyway, there was this docu-series that came out 2, maybe 3 years ago on Netflix, Don't F with Cats. And I don't remember any of the names involved, but essentially there was this mentally disturbed person who, on some website, posted up a video of him killing a kitten. And he ended up doing it more than one occasion. Don't need to go into all that. Well, what was interesting about it, and the guy that killed this kitten ended up turning into a murderer, and the internet kind of helped the police track him down, which was it was a very interesting docu-series in a true crime kind of way. But the part about it that I thought was interesting is when people started getting involved, and this guy's got to pay, and this guy's got to be found, and it wasn't when he was murdered. It wasn't at his first murder. They kind of stumbled onto that by pursuing this guy for the videos that he put up of him with these cats. So this guy inhumanely killed a couple cats, put it on the internet, and the crazy cat ladies of the internet decided this guy's got to get found and get brought up on charges of animal cruelty and so on and so on, which is fair. I'm not disputing that, animal cruelty is a thing, that, hurting an animal just for the sake of hurting an animal isn't inhumane or indecent at all. But thought I had enough passings on there, but I don't. But they decided to go after this guy the second that he posted this video up, and they stumbled onto the fact that at the time they didn't know for sure, but that he could have been a murderer of people. So I'm surprised that Fauci hasn't come under more public scrutiny for his animal experiments, just for the simple fact that he's not using, lab rats and mice and animals that we feed snakes. I'm surprised that he's not catching more public scrutiny, because he's using dogs. He's using, cute beagles for these experiments. So I just find it odd that he hasn't come under more public scrutiny. And again, I'm not speaking to whether or not the methods, the potential applications for whatever data these experiments find won't be medically relevant somehow. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm a factory worker. And I'm not disputing the methods that he's using to get to these points, but especially, the maximum pain experiments and no sedation or painkillers allowed. That sounds... If you read some of the horror stories that came out of Nazi Germany concerning the concentration camps, they did a lot of things to a lot of people, and they would refuse sedation because they didn't want to interfere with the scientific data. If you can even call what they did scientific. So, just weird in my opinion. That's what I got on this one, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.